Do you have a compression swing and you are looking to learn more ways to integrate primitive reflexes using that compression swing?
Welcome back to the Harkla YouTube channel. I'm Jessica.
And I'm Rachel, and we're the Certified Occupational Therapy Assistants here with Harkla.
And today we're going to give you 5 activities that target primitive reflexes using your Harkla compression swing.
Now, about a year ago, we released a video that was basically what we're going to talk about today. 5 activities to integrate primitive reflexes inside of a compression swing. Now, we decided it would be a good time to give you 5 more activities that you can try.
Now, really quick, we want to explain why we love using the compression swing to target primitive reflexes. And the biggest reason is that children love the compression swing, and if you have one, you know this to be true. And we love incorporating the compression swing into fun, play-based activities that we can also use to target those retained primitive reflexes to really just create those new neural pathways in the brain.
All right, the first activity we're calling supine flexion ball taps. Now we're going to be inside the compression swing, kind of laying on our back, and we're going to hold like a playground-sized ball, and we're going to tap the ball to our toes, alternating, tapping it to the right, tapping it to the left, and it's kind of like a crossing midline type pattern while you're in that flexion position. Now, this activity is great for the tonic labyrinthine reflex, and it can also be helpful for the Moro reflex as well.
The next activity, you're going to have your child lay on their stomach in the swing, and you want to make sure that the swing is low enough to the ground that they can put their hands on the floor and stabilize their body so they're not just swinging crazy everywhere. And you're going to want to have 2 visual charts for this activity. Now, a visual chart can be any type of piece of paper with letters, numbers, shapes, animals written across in several rows. And you're not going to necessarily write the letters and numbers in order. You want it to just be kind of random and mixed up. So you're going to put one chart on the floor in between your child's hands, and then the second chart you're going to hold up in front of them at about eye level. And have your child read between the chart in between their hands, and then look up to the chart that you are holding and alternate looking up and down to read the 2 visual charts. This activity is really great for the symmetrical tonic neck reflex, or the STNR, which is really the reflex that has a huge impact on reading and writing and coordination.
Now, the next activity, we're going to work on the palmar grasp reflex, and we're really going to just be inside the swing. You could do it kind of like our last activity, laying prone on your stomach with the hands on the ground, and you can scatter a variety of small items around the child on the floor. So they can maneuver themselves around. Ideally, their hands should be flat on the ground, and they're going to stabilize with one hand flat on the ground, and then they're going to use the other hand to kind of pick up one item at a time, almost like we like to call it squirreling, where they're picking up one item and then storing it in the palm, and then picking up the next item, transferring it to the palm as well, and picking up as many items as they feel comfortable with one hand. And then let's say you're picking up coins. You could have a coin bank or a piggy bank, and then they are transferring one item at a time from their palm out to their fingertips and then putting it into the coin bank. So they're doing that one item at a time, really working on those small intrinsic hand movements and object manipulation, and all of those skills can really work on integrating that palmar grasp reflex.
And with this activity, you want to make sure that they switch hands. So if they do the activity with their right hand, make sure that you have them switch and try it with their opposite hand as well.
Now, the next activity is a tricky one. Let us warn you on that before you go and try it yourself. We're going to do log rolls in the swing. Now, if you have a young child who's trying this one, you might have to kind of, lift the side of the swing up and help them roll, and then lift the other side and help them roll back. But we're really working on that vestibular stimulation, and you know that the connection between the vestibular system, the Moro reflex, the TLR, really all of them, but specifically the Moro and the TLR, we're going to work on this log roll pattern in both directions.
Yes, now make sure that you do follow this activity up with some heavy work, some deep pressure, some crawling, something that's proprioceptive based, because all of that rotary vestibular input from the rolling can be very alerting, very overstimulating for some children. So just make sure that you have your child get out of the swing and do something full body heavy work to kind of decrease any overstimulation that might occur.
And the last activity, know we love lizard crawls for integrating the ATNR, but let's flip it over and we're gonna do supine lizard crawls inside that compression swing. So we're gonna be laying on our back and we're going to turn our head to the right, and we're going to lift our our right arm and our right leg up into a flexion position, kind of like we're gonna scratch our head or smell our armpit. And then we're going to turn our head by itself to face the left, and then we're gonna move our right arm and our right leg down, and we're gonna lift our left arm and our left leg up, kind of smelling the opposite armpit or scratching the head, whatever you want to call it. And then we're going to, again, turn our head without moving the rest of our body. Once we've turned our head, bring the left arm and leg down, and then switch and repeat on the right. So we're kind of doing a lizard crawl, but we're going to be laying on our back instead of on our tummies.
Yes. If you try any of these activities, we would love to hear from you. Let us know in the comments if you do any of these activities, if your child loves them, if they're kind of hard. Feel free to ask us questions in the comments as well.
If you're looking for more strategies, more ideas, more information, just more content, make sure you're following our podcast and giving it a listen. It's All Things Sensory by Harkla. We have our own YouTube channel called All Things Sensory, and you can find it on Apple and Spotify, and it's on video as well.
Make sure you're following us on Instagram. We are at Harkla_family, as well as at All Things Sensory Podcast.
And we will be back here next week for another video all about primitive reflex integration.
All right, we'll see you then.
First activity we are going to get in, sorry, there's something tickling me. Okay.
Forgot to look down.